Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Pagani Design PD1681 homage to Breitling Avenger. Let's start out with the wrist check. I'm wearing a Smil 1711, and Grogu is wearing my Corjo GMT Coke. Grogu said that the Obi-Wan series on Disney Plus has done so well that they are making another series. In this one, Obi-Wan and Darth Vader form an unlikely alliance and team up to try to resurrect Padme. To keep it low profile, Darth Vader does not wear a suit. They are calling it Ben and Stumpy. Alright, let's take a look at the watch. Comes in this box with the little flap and not the newer box that has the blue metallic cardboard. Comes with this nice Pagani Design cleaning cloth. And since this doesn't have a bracelet, there's no sizing tool or screwdriver. And here it is. This is a nice looking watch. I really like it. Breitling does not get a lot of love in the homage world. Pagani Design has helped rectify this with two different homages to Breitling Avenger. They have the PD1781, which is a chronograph sporting the go-to VK63 and coming in many colorways and bracelet options. Then they have this PD1681, which seems like almost an afterthought, with only 3 dial colorways and only coming in a PVD coated black case with black rubber strap. There's also a blue and yellow dial. The rule of thumb is that you should always get your watch on a bracelet, since it is easier to find a strap than a bracelet, especially one with fitted end links. But what happens if a bracelet is not an option? There are downsides to bracelets. They have to be adjusted. A perfect fit may not happen. They are less forgiving than a strap. They can be difficult to remove. They can be poorly made. A good bracelet can be ruined by a cheap clasp. So maybe it's good that this only comes on a rubber strap, because then you don't have to make that choice at all. The watch is 43.2 millimeters at the bezel, but 45 millimeters if you measure at the case. 53.4 millimeters lug to lug, 14 millimeters thick, has a 22 millimeter lug width. It weighs 133 grams on the supplied rubber strap. The bezel is a metal 60-click unidirectional with engraved markings and numbers that are the same color as the rest of the bezel, so you can only see them by the engraving. It has a huge lume pip. Unfortunately, it doesn't line up very well. See? Now you can force it to line up, because even though this bezel doesn't have any back play, it has lots of front play. So you can make it look like it's lined up, but it will get out of line eventually, which is unfortunate, because it's, who likes an unlined lume pip? The bezel action is pretty good. The clicks are loud and solid, and there's only 60 of them, so they're big clicks. But once again, even though there's really no back play, there's a lot of forward play. There's a flat black dial with no sunburst effect. The Pagani Design name and logo is printed on top in white. Then it says automatic in red, and as you can see, that red's a really deep shade of red, so you can barely see it on the back background. And then it says water resistant 10 bar 100 meters on the bottom. Has applied lume indices with a triangle at the 12, batons everywhere else, with thicker ones at the 3 and the 9. It has minute markers on the chapter ring with red ones at the 5s. And there's another chapter ring on the shroud, and this has minute markers and sub-second markers, and with numbers at the 5s. There's a date at the 6. I really like the date at the 6. You don't usually see that on a Pagani Design automatic. So, because obviously the stock NH35 is going to have it set up so the date will have to be at the 3. So that's a nice touch. It adds a lot of symmetry. And in fact, the actual Breitling has the date at the 3 and not the 6. So this is one step above the Breitling. It has a signed screw-down crown. Being an NH35, it pops nicely when unscrewed. And there's really good thread action. When you screw it back in, the threads catch right away and you don't feel a lot of resistance. It has a dome sapphire crystal with no air coating, and there's quite a bit of reflection because of that. So, I mean, sapphire, it's not as great as it sounds, because yeah, it won't scratch, but man, that reflection is bad. Has a black PVD coated stainless steel case. It's nicely brushed everywhere. I really like this case. I like how the lugs slope down a lot, so it fits the wrist well, even though this is a big watch. It has a screw down display case back. You can see writing in the display case back, but it's the engraving is pretty shallow, so it's hard to see. It says stainless steel. Then it gives Pagani Design, water resistant 100 meters, and then the model numbers on the side there, so you can barely see that, PD1681. And underneath the display case back is the ever reliable NH35A. This is the go-to workhorse movement for watches in this price range. This is a 3 Hertz 24 joule hacking and a bidirectional rotor, not a unidirectional. And they're usually pretty reliable straight off the shelf. So let's put it on the time grapher and see what this one looks like. As you can see, those are some pretty good numbers. That's right off the shelf and not regulated. And we're just +4, +5. So yeah, there's quite a bit of beat error, but the accuracy is good. The strap is described as rubber, and I'm sure it's a synthetic rubber, but it feels really nice. I really like the rubber because it's not as slick and stretchy as silicone, but it is a lot softer and stretchier than the resin of like a Casio. And it's got these little things to help it stretch more. And this is a big strap, so this is a strap designed for a dive style watch. It's nice and long, so it's designed to go over a wetsuit. Yes, this is a 100-meter watch, so you probably won't use it for diving. But if you're going to have a dive style, you might as well have a dive style. Then it has a sign buckle of brushed PVD coated steel. And then both of the keepers are signed also. And these are both floating keepers. So that makes it nice. I really don't like fixed keepers because then you have to really fold the strap when you put it in. Of course, it being rubber, you're not going to wear it out doing that. But no, I like this strap. It's really comfortable too. It's got these little notches on the back, so it helps it breathe. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. This is a big watch, but once again, it wears nice and flat. I like it. This rubber strap is very comfortable, and it makes this big watch not too heavy. And yeah, it looks nice. And also you can see there's plenty of notches left. So you can wear this, even if you had a 9-inch wrist, you could wear this. Here we are in the loom room. Wearing the watch, it seemed like it had fairly good loom, so let's hope it lives up to my expectations. As we speed up the time, we see the loom isn't bad, but not great. Unfortunately, the hands are a bit weaker than the indices, which is never a good thing. But look at that giant loom pip. It's hardly fading at all. Too bad the rest of the watch wasn't as good as the pip, or I'd tell Jody that there was a Pagani Design that was actually a Loom Wars contender. What do I like about this watch? Well, I like this nice black PVD coated case. And I like this comfortable rubber strap. And I like the fact that it has the date at the 6. What are my gripes and groans? Misaligned bezel. Hand loom is weaker than the rest of the loom. And there's a lot of reflection on this dome sapphire crystal. Do I recommend this watch? Yes. I've really enjoyed wearing this watch. It looks great, it is very comfortable, has a good movement, and sits nice and flat on the wrist. Plus, it's just different. It's not your typical Rolex homage or Tudor homage or Omega homage. You don't, like I said, you don't see very many Breitling homages. And it's just overall a great watch. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Pagani Design 1681, and I will be back with another unboxing. I just got something in the mail yesterday, and it's going to be my last unboxing for a while. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.